Welcome to Beyond the Charts, a podcast series featuring Cira Monnig, founder of Lakeside Care Clinic. Each episode shares real stories and a fresh perspective on health and wellness, all rooted in compassionate, personalized care. At Lakeside Care Clinic, it's never just about the numbers, it's about going beyond the charts. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Beyond the Charts with Cira Monnig. Cira, how are you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Ken?
Awesome. Well, you know, this is like our fourth episode, I think.
I think it is.
Yeah. We get into a lot of different subjects. I know we've talked about several things, but I'm kind of excited about today because it's actually something that I'm going down the path of as well. And that is this new thing called weight loss. And it's nothing new to a lot of people out there. We've all been trying to lose weight forever, right? So
Absolutely.
Everyone's been on every diet that there is. There's all kinds of different things that are going on. But tell me a little bit about the weight loss products and I guess more of the concept behind these GLP-1s and what's going on with that.
It's a hot topic, number one, very hot topic. And so GLP-1s are essentially a medication that can significantly help weight loss. Initially, they've been around for actually many, many years, but they initially came out as a diabetic medication. However, through prescribing them, we started seeing a lot of people losing weight on these medications. So more studies were done and it was looked at for weight loss and you see the benefits of weight loss. And so then it started really becoming popular. So
and that's how a lot of medications happen, right? I mean, they're developed for maybe a very specific reason. They put someone on the medicine and then they find out, wait, there's these benefits that happen outside of what we even thought. And that's really where this whole GLP thing came from. And now, you know, there's so much excitement out there because let's face it, dieting is hard.
It is.
Weight loss is hard. And as you know, we live in America and our food is filled with so many things. And so, you know, it's just a different way to go. But I love the fact that you are so well versed. This is not something you just got into.
No.
You've been involved in these products and this, I'll call it this concept for a long time, right?
I have several years now. I have taken a deep dive into these medications and really not just prescribing them, seeing the benefits with people are amazing. The benefits with inflammation. So just as we talked about, you know, it was accidentally found for weight loss through prescribing it for diabetes. Well, now a lot of people are prescribing for weight loss and seeing benefits with, you know, reducing inflammation overall. And now they're starting to see significant health benefits to reducing heart attacks or strokes.
And that just came out. Like I just saw the Heart Association just came out and said, we're taking this off of a list of just diabetic. And we're saying this could be a very well-prescribed regimen for people who have heart condition.
Just got approved for sleep apnea.
Which is, you know, there's so many people with sleep apnea out there. And it's, you know, let's face it. I mean, wearing the Darth Vader mask is not what everybody wants to do. And it keeps a lot of people away. So being able to perhaps have something that will help with that without having to go down that road is pretty nice.
It is. It's very nice. I mean, it definitely you're seeing just many benefits to it. What's interesting to me is how it works, though, because, you know, I've been a nurse practitioner for going on 11 years, and there are plenty of weight loss medications out there. And I never was real fond of them because I always felt like they were always a Band-Aid. GLPs are different, though, because they truly hit the root of the problem. They're hitting the insulin resistance, which, as you mentioned, our food is terrible. All the toxins in our environment are terrible. It affects our hormones, which we discussed in our last podcast. Insulin is a hormone. And so we're seeing a lot of insulin resistance, which then leads to weight gain. And it can be very, very challenging for people to lose weight. They can be eating right. They can be doing the exercise. But if they have metabolic dysfunction, meaning insulin resistance is one of the ways they can be have metabolic dysfunction, then it's going to make it very challenging for them to lose weight.
And these medications actually stimulate more insulin, correct? Is that how it works? Yeah. So they're actually doing something your body can't do.
Exactly.
And I think people sometimes have like, well, if my body's not doing it, then is it natural to kind of stimulate it to do? Well, it is, because any kind of hormone replacement, any kind of help with the body, that's what these guys are figuring out. Like, I mean, they spend billions of dollars on developing this stuff. Yes. And, you know, when you can really go down the road, and let's face it, if you're a diabetic, it's a must have,
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
But a lot of people are pre-diabetic, that's something where, you have a chance to kind of tackle it before you get to that problem.
Yes, then that's the beauty of it, is even taking it a step back. Maybe you're not even pre-diabetic, but you're overweight. Eventually, you're going to end up becoming diabetic. Not everyone, but it is a higher risk. So it goes back into preventative medicine. And GLP-1s are a huge form of preventative medicine. By losing the weight, it's going to reduce the risk for diabetes altogether. A lot of type 2 diabetes is environmental anyways. It's lifestyle, right? No exercise and eating terrible. So it helps with that. It helps the insulin sensitivity too. So not only increasing insulin secretion, but insulin sensitivity so that it can bind and do what your body should naturally do. So that's huge, because then your appetite's curbed, you're burning fat instead of storing fat. So all of those ways are how your body's going to end up, you're going to end up losing weight.
Yeah. And you've actually, I'm in full disclosure, I've just been put on, GLPs. I'm in about my 6th or 7th week. I've noticed weight loss almost immediately from it. I've noticed the no food noise. I mean, I'm a foodie. I love to think about my next meal. I'm having the current meal. And it's kind of taken that away, which is interesting. You don't even realize it's happening until it happens. And you're like, I haven't thought about food all day. So there's a lot of things going on here that this medicine is doing that I think is helping in such subtle ways to help you be successful.
Yes. And bringing up nutrition, that brings up a really good point. It does take the food noise away. So then it helps. It's so much easier to make good, healthy choices whenever the food noise is gone.
Yeah.
And so we've reviewed your diet and what you've been eating, and you're doing the work on that side. That is so important, because these medications you've heard in, like with social media or whatnot, that you can lose muscle mass. And that is absolutely true, because your body's not getting the nutrients or the protein that it should be getting. So I think coaching on nutrition when prescribing a GLP-1 is so vitally important, because you don't want to, what's the point of taking a medication and doing more harm to your body in another way? Yeah, you're losing fat, but you're also losing muscle. We don't want that. So it's so important to coach the patients on nutrition, making good choices, counting their calories, counting their fat and carbs and protein to make sure that their body is getting enough of the nutrients that it needs to function.
Yeah. And it's not just about making you not eat. I mean, it's making you eat the right things.
Right.
Your body still needs sustenance. And so you have to, you want to feel good. But let's talk about the different choices, because there's a lot of different choices. The Semaglutide, there's the Tirzepatide, there's the Retatrutide. I mean, there's all these things that are out there. You pretty much can handle any of those, right? And it's just like patient by patient basis, right? As far as what they need and what they're looking for.
Yeah, it is. It is. So Semaglutide was the first one that came out, and it works in one pathway, whereas Tirzepatide works in 2 different pathways. Retatrutide is the newest one that's going to be coming out very soon. Actually, it's come out in a few different places, but it actually works in 3 different pathways. So it's like the mega GLP-1, really.
New and approved.
Yeah, new and approved. And
but they'll do something. So I mean, and I think a lot of it too is, let's be frank, there's cost to this. So you can get in at a level that's affordable. You may not want to buck up for the super duper newest whatever, but plenty of people have been losing weight on all these different.
Absolutely. So. And it's interesting too, because what works for one doesn't mean it's going to work for everyone, right? I've seen people where they respond really well to Semaglutide and they're like, but I want to lose more or something like that. And so we go to Tirzepatide and they don't respond at all to Tirzepatide, which is interesting because it's hitting in 2 different pathways. But so it truly does depend on the person. And a lot of it's going to be trial and error, just seeing, okay, what does your body respond to? And same for side effects. You may have side effects with one person, but it doesn't mean those same side effects are going to occur with every single person. We're all made very differently. So, but
you have so much knowledge in this, and I know when we were sitting down, you're like, "Look, when I create the compound that I'm using, I'm putting some things in there that are going to help you with nausea, with some of the things that have come out, and personally for me, I haven't felt any ill effects at all. Now I'm not going and eating a big bag of fries either, so I know that if you eat wrong, it's going to affect you. But
exactly,
you do a lot of coaching on that too. Like, okay, what do you want to eat? What are you feeling? Let's try something different. We'll try a different dose. Sometimes the dosing is all over the board for different patients, right? They're all different.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Talk about the dosing and how that works. So when people start out, you usually start them out at a certain level, and then you kind of move them up until they kind of get to that level that feels right for them, right?
We do. We start out at a very low dose and we titrate very slowly up, and it varies for each person. A lot of times when I start someone out, I will titrate up 1, maybe 2 times, but then I want to see them back within that 4 to 6 week period, because I want to see, how are they tolerating it? Are they on the right track for weight loss? Which for an appropriate weight loss, that would be 1.5 to 2 pounds per week, right? 6 to 8 pounds per month. If they come to me and they've lost like 15 or 20 pounds in the first month, I'm going to be like, no, we need to slow way down. That's just not a healthy weight loss.
Right.
Or if they've not lost any, that tells me information as well. So I will change my treatment plan up for them. But we titrate them up to get to a good dose for each person to where we're seeing a continuous, stable weight loss. We talk about their weight loss goal at the beginning and decide where they want to get to. And then once they get to that weight loss goal, I always talk to people about microdosing. Microdosing is just going back to that very starting dose, that very small starting dose, and staying there. And you may dose it once a week, once every 10 days, but there are so many benefits to the GLP-1s with just, like I said, inflammation, that you're not just maintaining, it's not just cutting the food noise, but also cutting that inflammation. And people, for example, that have a lot of arthritis and arthritis pain or autoimmune things, we do find that the GLP-1s microdosing helps.
Yeah. And I think they're just, even though there's so much data on it, they're still just now discovering some of the benefits that are coming down the line. We talked about the benefits of hormone therapy and what they can do and how they can rejuvenate your body, make you feel younger. And this is along the lines of some of that as well, but it's really tackling with the weight loss situation head on. And I know there's a lot of people who have tried it, and maybe they tried it and they didn't like it, or they tried it and it was too expensive. Those prices are coming down, and there's ways that people can get involved. I know you guys have at Lakeside Care Clinic, you have a bunch of different option bundles that people can choose. And that's important because look, it's some people have to figure out how to pay for it.
Right. Yes. We definitely want to make it affordable because it's just so beneficial to a person's overall health. And so I do want to make it accessible and affordable so that they can get the benefits.
And most insurance plans, unless you are a full-blown diabetic, they're not covering it.
They're not covering it.
So it falls on the person to kind of do their homework, figure out what's going on. You've made it so easy. They can call you. You can go down the litany of different options that they have. You get them in, you do a blood test, so you'll see exactly where their A1C is and all that, and you'll kind of be able to tell in a real quick snapshot, like, okay, you're definitely a candidate, and this is how we're going to attack it. Yeah.
And just spend the time talking about the different risk benefits and really diving into lifestyle. I really like to talk to the patients about, what does their current lifestyle look like as far as eating and exercise, and then what is it going to change to? And I always tell people 80-20, 80% of the time you're going to do well, you're going to eat good, you're going to be active. And then 20% of the time, if you love that ice cream, go get it. Go get it.
You want chips and salsa one night? Maybe.
That's right. That's right.
Well, is there anything else you want to tell people about the whole weight loss stuff that's going on that you want, that when people come into the office, what do you see as maybe their biggest reason for being hesitant about trying it?
I think the biggest reason is, honestly, most people are so hesitant with any medications, and they don't like the idea of just being on any medication at all. A lot of people are moving more towards the holistic route with natural remedies, things like that. And I understand that. We've talked about it. I like to take more of a holistic approach with a lot of things, but there's actually medications out there, the more I dive into it, that I realize have such health benefits that aren't even discussed because it's just a different approach, and it's not what the pharmaceutical companies actually approved it for.
Right.
And so I think take the fact that yes, it is a medication, but there's also so many other health benefits to it, and by using it, just getting that quality of life back. That's huge.
Yeah, and I know the age group for these type of medications is probably 35 plus that you're seeing most people come in, but you could be in your 20s and still get benefits of this medication.
Absolutely. I have younger people. I have quite a few younger people actually that just really struggle with weight. And again, you can do all the right things with weight. You can do the diets, you can do the exercise, but if you're metabolically not processing things appropriately, it's like beating your head against a concrete wall.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll just talk from personal. I mean, the food noise is maybe the biggest thing that I see as a benefit, because it just really goes away. And you just don't, like, I'm a big sweet guy. I was a big sweet guy. I don't crave sweets anymore. I mean, it's just rare that I ever do. I don't think about it. Like, and that's, I think, the part that helps. You're like, you don't want to have to be like 100% focusing on this all the time.
Right.
And this medication allows you to kind of live your life, do things the right way, make sure you're eating correctly, but taking away a lot of that noise is really a benefit.
Yeah, I think that, to your point, I think that's probably one of the biggest benefits, is taking away that food noise and not feeling like your every single day is controlled by food.
And so somebody just schedules an appointment with you, a consultation, they come in, you're going to talk to them, and then what? They do a blood test, I would guess.
Yeah, we do a consultation and we go over the medication, we go over their lifestyle, what their goals are, and kind of what they're wanting to see. And then, we'll move forward and do a blood test to make sure that there's no underlying causes to their weight gain. That's another thing I like to rule out undiagnosed diabetes, because if they're a diabetic and they just haven't been diagnosed, maybe their insurance will cover it. Right. 100%. Insurances are all very different. So I don't want to coat something that would have otherwise never been found. So thyroid as well. We like to rule out any thyroid issues. So we'll do some blood tests, make sure that you're appropriate, make sure there's no underlying causes for weight gain that should also be addressed, and then order the medication if you're a good candidate.
It sounds easy. It is easy. And at Lakeside Care Clinic, you guys make it super easy. Mm-hmm. And I just like knowing that you've been down this road for several years. So you're not going to one of there's places popping up all over the place that are doing this now, but I feel better knowing that someone's been around, they've seen it enough, they know how to, put this package together and make sure that it's safe and that it's something that they've seen success with in the past.
One thing too, just to throw out there that I think is different, because a lot of people will go to the online services to order the GLP-1s, but then they don't have anyone to contact when they have questions.
Yeah.
And that's part of what I really wanted to make sure, that they had accessibility to us. So when you sign up and do a weight loss bundle with us, you have full access to us anytime. We can meet, we can talk about anything. If you're having side effects or have questions about anything, we're there.
Yeah. Or they can FaceTime you if they just have like, am I doing this right on my injections and all that? Yeah. So it's really a great program. I would tell you guys, you need to go see Lakeside Care Clinic. You need to, if you have any reason to want to try these products, to want to get into the game of the new form of weight loss and see the success that a lot of people are having. I mean, you look at Hollywood now, it's different looking Hollywood than it was 3 years ago. And it's primarily because of these products. So, Lakeside Care Clinic, that's where you want to go. Make sure that you talk to Cira and get all the information that you need. And I'm sure she has a bundle that's made for you guys. This is the new thing. And I would encourage you to look into it, see if it's right for you. We'll be back on another episode of Beyond the Charts. We're going to delve into all kinds of things like this. I mean, we have been down the road of just some really interesting topics that I think people really appreciate getting, the background on, because you don't get this kind of information where you're talking in real terms that people can understand.
Right. Yeah.
And that's, I think, what makes it so popular. So thanks again for joining us today. We'll be back with another episode of Beyond the Charts next week. Until then, we'll see you later.
Bye. Thank you.